What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Thompson Twins. Going back to their 1985 album, Here's the Future Days, and we're up to the track, Love is the Law. It feels like maybe part of a larger expression, love is the law of the land, perhaps. But yeah, it's suggesting that love, expressed in some way, whether that's, brotherhood with all, among you, or in a more targeted or narrow sense, love in some capacity is the requirement, it is the expectation, it is the way things are done. And indeed, perhaps, by saying something is a law, the way that is represented, it speaks to perhaps, you can run afoul of the law, so that if there is not love, then there's a problem, and there's perhaps, accountability and so on. So yeah, I don't know, it sounds very positive and loving, but also there seems to be at least a possibility that there could be, the other side of that, or the dark underbelly of that. So, yeah, and ultimately I guess you could say that if love is compelled, if you were required by law to love something, would the love be sincere, genuine? Can you force love? And, if you do, does it cease to become love by virtue of it being involuntary? So, yeah, I suppose there's like a philosophical question embedded within the title, but let's find out what Thompson Twins had to say about it. This is Thompson Twins' Love is the Law, and it's from the 1985 album Here's the Future Days. Like how I talk myself in circles like that? Better listen to us. Perpetual war for perpetual peace. Funky keys. Like snorkel sound. not trying to take over, but it's chiming in. So yeah, lots of brass. Fade. A little tonal shift, a little guitar solo. I hear you, guitar. Kind of the xylophone thing going on too, like the wood chimes anyway. Amazing. I really enjoyed that one. Again, maybe not exactly in the contradiction of the semantics of the phrase, a love being a law. But I think it was getting at a lot of contradictions. The idea of fighting for peace, and the idea of fighting for religions that claim piety and peace and tranquility, and then fighting a war to stop a war from starting, which seems like a contradictory or at least problematic affair. And it made me think, there's sci-fi books and stories I've read where they talk about species that have this eternal doctrine where they just try to kill everybody so they won't get killed, not realizing that they're essentially creating the very problem that they're seeking to solve through their actions. So yeah, I think it's a song that gets at the contradictions of human behavior on a global level writ large, where large groups of humans are sent to do things that on the surface of it they fit with a rhetoric, but then the more you think about the rhetoric, it's yeah, but isn't it the very thing that it's supposedly seeking to prevent? So yeah, I think it's a song that's making a social or global statement in terms of maybe we humans should think a little more clearly about what we're doing, and shouldn't be in such a rush to fall in line with the rhetoric that leads to these kind of things. But it's funny because it's has a dark underbelly thematically, but it's a very bright and shiny tune, lots of brass. Again, I was thinking this is 85, 86, Duran's Notorious. There's a lot of brass on that. There's a couple moments there where it's making me think of some moments on that album. It's also the hallmarks that I've come to associate with Thompson Twins. We got all these percussive layers, what sounded like steel drummer. I think it's called pan, technically. But also those, I don't know, xylophone or maybe wood sort of chime type of hits. Really cool guitar work, and then again a really popping, dynamic, catchy chorus. So yeah, another cool tune. One that again it feels a bit more big kind of pop tune compared to some of the stuff before this. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one, and it wasn't it turned out to be a bit more. It had more to say on a human or global level than I thought it might, given the title. So. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I thought it might be, but I was, after hearing the first couple lines, it was oh, wait, okay, this is doing a bit more thematically than I expected. So another cool one. Looking forward to the rest of the album. Again, only knowing these guys through a couple tunes and through reputation, it's been really cool to go up into this point, and ultimately, yeah, I'm savoring the journey in the sense that it's a group that I think. Just through my own experience up to this point, that perhaps doesn't get enough attention or enough respect in terms of the composition of some of their tunes, which again, especially in terms of the percussion, I'll keep coming back and saying that all the different drum bits and bobs and the creative way they're integrated rhythmically is something that continues, even as I was just saying the tune is a bit more a big flashy pop tune with synth brass and so on. It still is really eccentric and really characteristic of what we've heard up to this point. So I'll stop babbling, but do let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.